My Prince, My Desire, Episode 1. The city of Abuja gleamed under the soft glow of street lights. On this particular night, the high-pitched chatters of well-dressed guests mingled with the soft hum of violins at the prestigious Maitama Grand Hotel. The event was an exclusive fundraiser hosted by one of the wealthiest families in the capital. Nneka, a vibrant young lady in her late 20s, was there by sheer luck. Her best friend, Amaka, a caterer hired for the event, had dragged her along to help with last-minute arrangements. "You will love it, Nneka," Amaka insisted as they walked into the grand ballroom. "You never know who might meet you at events like this." Nneka adjusted the simple black dress she had borrowed from Amaka. She felt out of place among the sea of opulent gowns and designer suits, but she couldn't deny her curiosity. She had heard so much about the lavish lifestyle of Abuja's elite, and now she was witnessing it firsthand. On the other side of the room, Chuka Obiora, a strikingly handsome entrepreneur in his early 30s, scanned the crowd with practiced ease. As one of the event's major sponsors, his presence was expected, though he found such gatherings tiresome. "Chuka, darling, you're too quiet," Adora Ume, his girlfriend of 2 years, teased, clinging to his arm. Adora, a stunning woman from one of the Abuja's most influential families, thrived in social settings like this. "I'm fine, Ada," Chuka replied with a forced smile, his mind elsewhere, already bored by the predictable conversations and fake pleasantries. Just as Chuka excused himself to grab a drink, his eyes caught sight of Nneka across the room. Her simplicity stood out among the extravagance, and something about her captivated him. He found himself walking towards her before he even realized it. Nneka, feeling overwhelmed by the grandeur, was standing near the refreshment table when Chuka approached. "Good evening," he said, his voice startling her. "I couldn't help but notice your look. Different in a good way." Nneka turned to face him, her eyes wide with surprise. "Good evening. Thank you, I think." Chuka chuckled. "I am Chuka Obiora, and you are?" Nneka Okafor," she replied, her voice steady despite her nerves. Their conversation began awkwardly, but soon flowed naturally. Nneka's intelligence intrigued Chuka, while his charm and confidence disarmed her. For the first time that evening, Nneka felt at ease. Across the room, Adora noticed Chuka's absence and followed his gaze. Her smile faded when she saw him talking to Nneka. "Who is that girl?" she muttered under her breath. Her perfectly manicured nails dug into her palm as jealousy flickered in her eyes. That night ended with Chuka and Nneka exchanging numbers, much to Adora's dismay. As Nneka left the event with Amaka, she couldn't help but smile, unaware of the storm her connection with Chuka would soon unleash. The early morning sun filtered through Nneka's curtain as she lay in bed, replaying the events of the previous night. She couldn't stop thinking about Chuka, his smooth confidence, his deep voice, and the way he seemed genuinely interested in her. She scolded herself for getting carried away. Men like that didn't usually stick around for women like her. Amaka burst into the room, startling Nneka. "Are you still in bed? You've been smiling like a teenager all morning. What's going on?" Nneka blushed. "It's nothing, Amaka. Just thinking about last night." Amaka gave her a sly look. Does this thinking have anything to do with that tall, fine man you were talking to? Before Nneka could answer, her phone buzzed. She hesitated before picking it. Chuka. Good morning, Nneka. I enjoyed talking to you last night. Can we meet for coffee today? Her heart skipped. It's him, she whispered, her hands trembling slightly. Amaka grabbed the phone from her and read the message. Oh, he's serious. You better say yes. Nneka hesitated before eventually replying, agreeing to meet him at a quiet cafe in Gwarimpa. Nneka arrived at the cafe dressed in a simple yet elegant blouse and jeans, her hair neatly braided. Chuka was already there, waiting for her at a corner table. He stood as she approached, his smile warm and inviting. You came, he said, pulling out a seat for her. I almost didn't, Nneka admitted, sitting down. Why not? Chuka asked, his eyebrows raised. She shrugged. Men like you don't usually notice women like me. Chuka chuckled softly. Maybe I'm not like the men you have met. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, filled with laughter and genuine curiosity about each other. Nneka shared stories about her modest upbringing in Enugu and her current job as a junior architect in Abuja. Chuka spoke about his journey to becoming a tech entrepreneur and his challenges managing success. For a moment, it felt like they were the only two people in the world. But unknown to them, Adora had followed Chuka. She sat in a corner of the cafe, wearing sunglasses and a scarf, certain as she watched them talk. That evening, Adora stomped into Chuka's penthouse, slamming the door behind her. Who is she? She demanded, her voice sharp. Chuka, caught off guard, looked up from his laptop. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me, Chuka. I saw you with that girl at the cafe today. Adora spat, her voice dripping with disdain. Chuka sighed and leaned back in his chair. Her name is Nneka, and she's not just some girl. We had a nice conversation, that's all. Don't insult me, Adora snapped. You've been distant lately, and now I see why. Do you think you can just throw away everything we've built for someone like her? Chuka stood, his tone calm but firm. Adora, what exactly have we built? Our relationship has been nothing but public appearances and constant arguments. I need something real. Adora's face contorted with anger. You think she is real? A nobody from the streets? You will regret this, Chuka. She stormed out, vowing to find a way to eliminate Nneka from Chuka's life. Meanwhile, Nneka sat in her small apartment, staring at her phone. She had enjoyed her time with Chuka, but doubts began to creep in. Don't get too comfortable, she told herself. Men like him come with baggage. As if on cue, her phone buzzed again. It was Chuka. Chuka, I had a wonderful time today. Can I see you soon? Smiling despite herself, she replied, I would like that. Little did she know her decision to see Chuka again would pull her into a dangerous web of lies, manipulations, and betrayal. The day that followed were a whirlwind for Nneka and Chuka. Their connection deepened as they spent more time together, exploring the hidden gems of Abuja, quiet parks, art galleries, and late-night conversations at secluded lounges. For the first time in years, Chuka felt at peace. Adora sat in her father's expansive living room, fuming. Her father, Chief Ume, a political heavyweight, was engrossed in the evening news when Adora broke the silence. "Daddy, I need your help," she said, her tone clipped. Chief Ume looked up from the screen, his glasses perched on the edge of his nose. "What is it now, Ada? Another shopping spree?" "No," Adara snapped. "It's Chuka. He's been distracted by a woman." Chief Ume's eyebrow furrowed. "And why is this my problem?" "Because if it continues like this, there won't be a wedding. You promised me this alliance, Daddy. Chuka's company is vital to expanding your tech portfolio." Chief Ume leaned back, his expression calculating. "Who is this woman?" Adora smirked. "Leave that to me. I will make sure she disappears." At the penthouse later that evening, Chuka was working on a proposal when the doorbell rang. He wasn't expecting anyone, and Ada had already declined his invitation to dinner, saying she needed to work late. When he opened the door, his heart sank. "Ifeoma?" he asked, staring at the striking woman standing before him. Ifeoma stepped inside without waiting for an invitation, her sharp heels clicking against the marble floor. "Hello, Chuka. Long time no see. What are you doing here?" Chuka asked, closing the door behind her. Ifeoma turned to face him, her smile predatory. "I think you know why. I need to talk to you about something important, something you can't ignore." Chuka felt a familiar dread settling in his chest. Ifeoma had been his first serious girlfriend, a woman he once thought he would marry. Their breakup had been messy, and he hadn't heard from her in years. "I have this for you." "Chuka, I don't have time for this," Chuka said, trying to brush her past. "You want to make time," Ifeoma said, her voice low. She pulled out a small envelope and placed it on the coffee table. "This is your problem now," Chuka insisted before picking up the envelope. Inside was a single piece of paper. His face paled as he read it. "It is positive," Ifeoma said smugly. "You are the father of my daughter, Chuka." Chuka dropped the paper as if it burned him. This can't be true." "It is," Ifeoma replied. "And don't even think about denying it. I have proof." Meanwhile, Nneka couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Chuka had been unusually quiet since their last date, his usual playful texts reduced to one-word replies. She tried to focus on her work at the architecture firm, but found her thoughts drifting to him. Amaka noticed her distraction. "What's wrong with you?" "It is Chika," Nneka admitted. "Something feels different." "Maybe he's busy," Amaka suggested. "Maybe," Nneka said, though her guts told her otherwise. The next day, Nneka decided to confront Chuka. She showed up at his penthouse unannounced, catching him off guard.